Now that I've got you with my clickbaity title, I'll let you in on a secret. Confronted is too harsh of a word. That was never my intention. My intention was to collaborate. Confrontation implies that there is an aggressor and a defender, and it is best not to start any interaction that way. Collaboration is necessary if you want to meet your goals in a productive manner. When I found out about the terrible things that have happened to my face as a result of poor posture growing up, and the things that have been done to my face to correct it, which actually made my face worse, I was appalled. The braces and the pendulum appliance, a distalizing appliance that I had worn, jettisoned my face into further oblivion, and I wasn't about to stand by and let it be without speaking my mind. I felt as though I needed closure. Certainly, I would need several treatments to correct this. Treatments that would far exceed the amount that my parents had initially paid for my orthodontic treatment. I decided to speak to my old orthodontist after weeks of procrastinating out of fear. My first objective was to know whether he could provide a revision at no charge as a compensation for what had been done to my face, my airways, and my overall health as a result of his treatment. If nothing else, I hoped that my grievances would spur him to action. My parents took care to pick a polite, and I would hope open-minded orthodontist for me when I was 11. Surely if I could convince this man to choose a different fate for himself and his patients, it would be worth the time that I spent in his office. A few members of the Craniofacial Action Group urged me to film the appointment, but seeing as I live in a state that requires consent from all parties, I decided not to, seeing as there was already so much stress and anxiety put on me from this appointment. My orthodontist looked the same as he had 10 years ago, and I remembered his office exactly. Because it had been so long, I was offered a revision consultation for free. I sat across from him, grateful for the mask that was on my face, because I could tell that my stare was as flat as ever. The man's a good listener, I'll give him that. I listed my various issues and complaints and told him what my plan was to fix them. With careful choice of words, he let me know he did not approve of this plan. He told me the size of my palate doesn't matter, and claimed that my distalizing treatment had not recessed my maxilla. He also expressed concern at my desire to get MSE in surgery to correct my jaws. He would not cover a correction himself, because he didn't even offer such a treatment. However, he did make me a mutually beneficial offer. He granted me new intraoral and extraoral photos, a lateral cephalometric scan, and a panoramic scan of my teeth. In return, I graced him with long-term patient data and gave him a research project to figure out what had happened with my case. I agreed to see him in a few weeks when he had done his homework. When I came in for the second time, I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't have a lot of faith in the visit and felt as though I was wasting my time. My mom went with me for support so that I could waste her time too. The doctor said he'd looked over my files and determined what was going on. Indeed, he had identified that I had a vertical growth pattern. He explained to me that some people's faces grow horizontally, while some people's faces grow more vertically. His best explanation for this was genetics. I tried futilely to convince him that not only my oral posture habits, but his very treatment had spurred an increase in downward growth. And he was willing to have none of it, even with my scans right there in front of him. In a last-ditch effort to get something out of this appointment, I asked to email him some files, to which he somewhat reluctantly agreed. If I manage to even plant a little seed, the meeting will have been worth it in a way. At least I don't have to wonder anymore if there's anything that can be done by him. As soon as we left, my mom explained to me that she shared his stance. She was convinced that my problems were due to genetics, rehashing an age-old argument we've had time and time again. I thanked her for taking the time to come with me and try in her own way to be supportive. But it's hard enough trying to move mountains without your closest allies pushing them back towards you. Will anything have come out of this? It's hard to say, but at least I won't have to wonder anymore. Do you want to approach your orthodontist about what happened to you? Here's a word of warning. My visit, despite the fruitlessness of it, is a best-case scenario. The worst-case scenario is you'll waste your time talking with a jerk who will make you feel much worse about your situation. Not only that, but if he or she is spiteful enough, you may be blacklisted from seeing other orthodontists, who you will no doubt want to reach out to if you are seeking corrective treatment. Another worst case is that your orthodontist does agree to a revision treatment, and the treatment once again pulls your face backwards and downwards. It's possible in the future there will be at least one class action lawsuit against the orthodontic industry. It's this kind of massive force that's needed to broach such a powerful industry like this one. If this topic interests you, make sure you join the Craniofacial Action Group on Facebook so you can keep abreast of the latest news on modern melting faces. I'll link it in the description for you. As always, be aware, stay safe, and keep a level head. Remember, your biggest priority is treating your craniofacial dystrophy, not getting closure or revenge. You're dealing with a massive industry here, and the problems run deeper than any one orthodontist or dentist. The best closure is fixing your face, having a beautiful wide smile, prominent cheekbones, wide nasal airways. I hope my testimony provides you with some clarity for your journey. I love you all, and I want you to have the best, most beautiful faces that you were designed to have from birth. Let's all forgive ourselves and each other and move on to be the best possible people that we can be. Take care.